Fatimah Muhammad. Just do a little FaceTime. Do you still do your public access show? You still produce shows of public access?
I still produce shows. I owe a show.
You always show. Well, how long you been producing shows? That's why I met you 20-some years ago at the public access. What show you were producing back in the day?
Back in the day, my very first show I learned on PVOM before I had the class.
Wow.
In college at UIC. So this was in 1990.
Wow.
My user ID is 9990.
You got me beat because I showed up in 91.
Okay.
You got me beat by a year. Listen to you.
Yeah.
So, but do you still produce shows of public access television?
Yes, the last one was Cafe Yeye. This was in March.
Oh, you still do it?
This year.
Well, why? Is it a hobby? You just love doing it?
I love doing it.
Oh,
and
yeah?
nobody can tell me no.
Wow. Now, back in the day...
And then I also did one when I was running for Congress. I did.
Yeah, you know, you got mad at me because I told you wasn't going to win.
Yes, I didn't, I didn't want to talk to you for a while.
I know, but no, I tell people when you ran for Congress, what, the 2nd Congressional District?
Yeah.
And I always tell people you're not going to win because the person with the most money usually wins.
I jumped in the deep end. And
No, it's fun. You should run. I ran for local school council in Harlan, got beat. I don't know who beat me, but I didn't know what I was doing. You know.
Harlan High School, 95.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Okay.
It was local school council a long time ago, maybe almost 20 years ago. But the point I'm saying though is that if you don't have any money, you're not going to win.
Yep.
But the point is that you are still creative. A lot of folks, they lose their creativity as we get older. We lose our drive. You still doing what you do.
Yeah.
What's the motivation?
Well, what else am I do?
Right.
Sit up and complain and holler at the TV?
Well, most folks, I
gotta stop doing
That's right. That's what they do. They drink, they smoke, they get high, and they just wait, just fade off into the sunset.
Holler at the TV. That's stupid. I could do that. Let me show it.
What grammar school and high school did you attend, Fatimah Muhammad?
Well, like I said, I started off, it was the University of Islam, kindergarten, and half of 1st grade. Then the school closed down. Then I wound up at Hazelcrest at Ralph Bunch, Warren Palm. Then back at Sister Claire Muhammad School.
So Fatimah Muhammad is the name you were born with?
Well, I was born with Fatimah Nadia Neal.
But you weren't like Samantha Johnson. That's what you know what I'm saying, right?
No, I was the first born to my parents after they joined the nation.
Wow, that's cool. That's excellent. Because everybody, they had a slave name, right?
Yes.
I retained mine because I'm a wimp. I'm gonna keep mine forever. I'm gonna be a Negro forever. That's beautiful,
And
though.
I had to pay for that name though.
Well, you did?
Because I moved out of my parents' house before the official change of name.
Wow.
So when I wanted to get a passport, all the stuff that I had was Fatimah Nadia Muhammad, but my birth certificate was Fatimah Nadia Neal.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, what college you attended? I know you went to college.
University of Illinois at Chicago, right down the street.
UIC?
Access, yes.
UIC?
Circle campus.
But you have a master's degree too, right?
Yes, I got my master's at Northwestern.
Listen to you. I mean, that means you're still paying for that master's.
No, I don't. No,
you got lucky then, okay.
Yes, I was one of the lucky.
Okay, you got lucky because if you got a master's, that means you paid out your pocket. That means you're going to be on until you're 80 years old.
I was one of the lucky recruits enrolled in an MA PhD program.
So you have, the education has served you well.
Yes, yes. Well, at least it hasn't cost me.
Right.
And it served me well.
Yeah, because some people, the big debate, you have a teenager, right?
Yeah, she's 12.
12? Oh, she's preteen.
Yes,
Oh,
the
fun has not begun.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, you just wait.
I'm gonna get a book.
If you get along now, it's gonna be fine. But if y'all have a little friction now, it's gonna be worse. Yeah, it's gonna get worse.
And she's taller than I am. So
wow.
I got a book I gotta get to how to deal with a female
teenager.
Yes.
A young sister.
Who's taller than me.
I say that
I can't get over that part.
Well, the babies grow up fast. The thing about it is that your mom, you're raising a daughter, just the one daughter, right?
Yes.
And I say that because that's the most important subject that we need to talk about as African Americans is raising these children.
Yes.
Because most of us going to co-parent these children. So you have a daughter. So the first thing I'll start at the end. Do you think college is worth it? Would it be worth it for your daughter to attend college like you did?
If she can do it without paying,
that's what I'm saying. The cost is so high.
It would be worth it. Right. If not, do something else.
Wow.
Because what's happening is we're in the beginning of a feudal corporate structure. Feudal in education, feudal in business, feudal system in global politics, a feudal system in communications. It's like 3 companies own everything.
Right.
and the rest of us are serfs and peons.
Right. And so you saying they could say it's not worth dropping $100,000 for education?
No, not without thinking, because they're
Right.
gonna go and think, okay, I go from this to a job. That's a mislead.
Yeah, but somebody has to work somewhere. We're at Chicago State University,
I know.
and people do work at Chicago State
And
University.
it's good for
Right.
training people to think.
Right.
Training people to go straight to a job is not worth $100,000. If you're training them to
Right.
think,
Right.
and you're concerned about them thinking about how to use this to bring out the best of themselves,
Right.
then they'll be all right.
Yeah, but there's certain jobs, Fatimah Muhammad, without that sheet of paper. We at Chicago State University, and without the sheet of paper, even from Chicago State University, they won't hire you.
I know. It took me 15 years to get here. That's what I meant by a feudal corporate system.
Yeah, we're all going to be wage slaves. We're going to be paying these
Yes,
student loans
wage
off, or
slaves.
the mortgage off, or the car loan off.
I don't mean to be a downer.
No,
but
no, it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's go back to your daughter. Now, your daughter should be in high school before you know it. Now, my daughter's 17. I think she turned 18 this year. Years go by fast. We will not let her date. She can't date till senior year of college. Would you let your daughter, she gets older, 3 years from now when she's 16, or 4 years from now when she's 16, would you let her date at 16?
No.
17? 18?
No, 18.
20?
18. She can consider being around boys on dates.
I say
In
that.
the
go ahead.
meantime, she got the rest of her life for all of that, getting to know boys. Know yourself now.
I say that because, I mean, I wish you, Fatimah Muhammad, had a boy and a girl, because you see the dynamic, because girls are going to college. We're at college right now. Girls are out doing, I mean, across the board, they're going to college more than boys, no matter what ethnic group you are a part of. But to get a boy, and graduating, 67% of all black boys drop out of the first year. So I say that because you have a young African-American daughter. Who is going to marry your daughter? Who is going to marry? I mean, it's tough, because to marry a sister, go right ahead.
I'm unmarried, so I don't have any real good clips for her. But I have been in touch with the friends that I've known since kindergarten. And so it's a few of them that have sons, and I trust their raising.
Somebody's going to marry your daughter, because that's why I tell African Americans.
So I'm going to, I'm not going to arrange.
Right.
But the people that I have her around when she's thinking about that are going to be people whose families I know.
Yes, because our young ladies are getting educated, but there's no African American. If they're going to get married, they have to quote unquote marry down, because most of the brothers. Well, I'm just saying most. I mean, go right, chime in, because I can talk forever though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The people that I've grown up with, I have one friend whose son is a freshman on the varsity football team at Indiana State University. Jameer Thurman is like that. So my friends have sons, turns out, all around my daughter's age, 3 of them. So that's 3, and we'll go from there, start building out to bring her some choices. Not necessarily say you get married when, no, because if I haven't been married, I can't say when the time is to marry. But when you're trying to co-produce, think about that.
Yeah, and some women I've talked to who are raising daughters, they just have to come to the realization they may have to marry outside of the race. You haven't come to that decision. If your daughter marries outside of the race, fine. You ain't go right ahead now.
Well, my daughter didn't fall far from the tree, so she is recognizing that even around where we live. Not that she's a racist,
right.
She's just noting. She pays attention. She's like, where are all these white people coming from? Because we live in a part of Chatham that has the Chatham Club on one end, and all the movie theaters and all that. We're in the middle, and the train and the bus, so we see some gentrification happening. And she pointed it out to me.
Not in Chatham, come on.
She pointed it out to me.
I know.
So
I know. Well, it's a multicultural world. It's not as segregated as it was when we were kids.
Right, and that's why I have her travel.
Yeah.
We went to Jamaica this past summer for her 12th birthday. So she got a chance to see. It's like the rest of the world is something like where we are. In some ways it's not. So the next place we're going to go is London.
Ooh, listen to you. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. And now I say that because do you think your daughter's going to college, which is cool. When she
Maybe.
Well, she's going. Trust me, because she's going.
She likes to think.
I mean, she's going. I mean, don't worry about it. You're not going to let her not go. Even if she went to Chicago State, she's going. Come on.
Yeah.
You're not going to let us go to work at Target and
oh,
nothing
no,
wrong
not
with that.
There. No, I was thinking
nothing wrong with Target.
Our own choices of building our business. going entrepreneur route.
Yeah, but college, I think you should go to college for at least a year or two, see how it works out.
Get some growing up.
Yeah, you need some maturity. I lost my train of thought at first about daughter's college. It's okay if she moves out of Chicago. If she goes to college and finishes college, a lot of college students move out of their hometown. You cool with your baby leaving Chicago and leaving you in Chicago?
Yes.
You cool with that? A lot of women, they say, that's my baby, that's all I have, she can't leave me.
I'm counting down.
For real?
Yes.
You don't have a problem with it, huh?
No.
If she leaves, she find Mr. Right, move to California, you cool with that?
Yes. I'm trusting and believing that I'm giving her roots and wings.
There's a lot of you sisters out here like yourself. They raising their daughters, they raising their sons, they're single mothers and all that kind of good stuff. Do y'all talk about raising these children, the next generation of African Americans? I mean, as a group, women.
Yes.
They do?
Well,
you're an educated woman.
Me and my 7 friends I've known since kindergarten.
Okay.
We have for the last 5 years, since '08, because one of our friends was going to move across the ocean to London, and so she said, let's all get together. And that's what started us every year. We have this annual getaway, and we have the biggest powwows, breaking down and bringing what we know to each other and sharing it. And I learned something every time, and we have a huge amount of fun.
I got 2.5 minutes left. Now, when these young ladies, y'all talk about raising kids. I mean, children. I hate saying kids. But
they're old enough to
I know. But do you think African American women as a group, do they really, they love their children, but they really have a plan on raising men and women so more of us are educated, more of us become entrepreneurs, most of us do collective, operations and businesses in a collective manner? Are we doing that? Or are we just like let the kids do whatever they want?
I think as parents we'll get to that, and I'm so fortunate that I found a cohort like that. But overall, the most general thing I can say is we're gonna hurt before we get to that.
Yeah. I say that because when 50% of the black men drop out of college, high school, 67% drop out of college, they may go back into adults, we know that. The unemployment for black men is 50%. We're not raising enough good black men for our daughters and granddaughters. Our black women talking about that.
Yeah.
I need to talk to your friends.
Yes, we talk about it, and the whole myth of where are they? They all in jail. Right. Are they gay? It's like, listen, what are you looking for, and what are you trying to do?
Well, are we raising some men who are good suitors? Remember, 20% of black men marry outside the race. You know that.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now, what has happened is we're raising our girls and loving our boys. Yeah. And that means defending them, covering for them, and cleaning up their shit, and we got to stop that.
Yeah, but when is that going to stop? Where is the leadership coming from? Is it coming from Essence? Is it coming from the music? Coming from hip-hop? Who is trying to really influence the next generation of young African-American women to raise our boys so 20, 30 years from now, we'd be a much better place?
Home, I know.
I mean, who's doing that? Who's talking about it?
I'm still looking.
Even here at Chicago State University, is that discussion going on at Chicago State University here on the grounds of Chicago State? Are we really trying to tell these young ladies and these young men, we got to raise some? We do a pretty good job, but half of our boys are not doing so well.
Some of that is happening. Some of that, a teeny bit of that is happening in the Masters of Public Health program here at Chicago State.
Okay.
In the African American Studies program, in the CMAT program, because we're looking at theater and movies and movie making to start that discussion, because that's where you got to start. The media starting that discussion, and media makers are the ones to kind of be the invisible college.
Well, I saw your pictures from Jamaica on Facebook, so that's where we can find you on social media.
Yes.
So Fatimah Muhammad, thank you so much.